Alright, welcome to another part of my World Cup preview series. We're talking about Slovakia in this part. They're in Group F along with Italy, Paraguay, and New Zealand. Slovakia is the first time they're at the World Cup, of course, as Czechoslovakia. They have been at the World Cup plenty of times, but since they've gone the independent route, this is the first time. They're kind of the little brother of the Czech Republic, who has been the better football team since they separated. But in qualifying, they actually beat the Czech Republic and finished above them in qualifying. They finished not only above Czech Republic, but also above Poland and above Slovenia, that also got there through a playoff. They won the group. They did quite well, but Slovakia was getting better lately. I remember last qualifying for Euro 2008, they were also competing for the top places. They gave Portugal quite a hard time. They didn't make it at the end, but they've been getting better, and it's been rewarded with their first major tournament because they hadn't made it to a European Championship either. So it's really a question mark to see how they'll do. I mean, they've beaten decent teams, but of course we know Slovenia, especially if you've seen the game against Algeria, they're not a brilliant team. Czech Republic, now that Nedved and Poborský are gone, are not the best team anymore. Their level has gone down, and Poland, as always, a solid team, but they've never really done anything at end tournaments. So, they beat good teams, but not brilliant teams. I mean, if they would have finished above a team like Portugal or France, you would have probably rated them higher. Now, it's a bit that they took advantage of the fact that other teams were having a weak qualification campaign. But hey, more power to them. They're here, looking at their players. Most famous player probably is Martin Skrtel, who regularly plays for Liverpool. He's a good player. The rest of them, they play for mostly mediocre teams. Guy that does stand out is Marek Hamsik, who plays for Napoli. He's been a consistent player. He's probably going to be quite important. He's still young, 22. Another young talent is Vladimir Weiss, who was signed with Manchester City. He played on loan for Bolton final half of the season. He looks promising. And there's also the winger Miroslav Stoch, who was on the contract of Chelsea but got loaned out to FC Twente this year and has been a good winger for them. They won the championship and he was a starter in that team. Quite important. So these are all young talent. We're talking about 20 years old to 22 years old. These are young up-and-coming guys. Also got a guy called Jendrisek who plays for Schalke. He's 23, also still young, up-and-coming. I mean, these are the main guys, they've got Holosko, plays for Besiktas in Turkey. Stoch, by the way, is also moving to Turkey. He's going to go to Fenerbahce. But a lot of some players that play at reasonable teams, but usually they're not starters. They're substitutes or second team players, or they're being loaned out to smaller teams, and the rest actually plays for smaller teams. So looking at the squad, you wouldn't consider them really a contender to go to the second round. But in this group, who knows? I mean, they did manage to give a couple of European teams a hard time. So who knows? They might be able to surprise against Paraguay or Slovakia or Italy. I mean, and with the fourth team being New Zealand, of whom people also have low expectations. Slovakia has a serious chance of winning their first World Cup game because they're playing New Zealand. And if you can win the first game and get some confidence, who knows? They can surprise people and make it to the second round as a second place team. I wouldn't bet on them, but it's not impossible. They're not a terrible team. I think they're slightly better than Slovenia. And they managed to win their first game because the opponent was quite weak. So Slovakia might be able to do the same, and it might be exciting to see. But I think they're a fairly solid team, fairly defensive, but with some young talent. So yeah, we'll have to see. The first game is against New Zealand. They have good chances there, but I think, normally speaking, Paraguay and Italy should be too strong for them. But I'll give you my final prediction on that in the final prediction video. Anyway, that's it for my analysis of Slovakia. Thank you.